Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 12. I am Rachel David White, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. Vice President Shettima demands transparency, equity in distribution of fertilizers to farmers. Akwa Ibom State government signs memorandum of understanding with Benin Republic-based agriculture firm. Plus, Indian rover confirms sulfur on Moon's South Pole. We'll bring you details of the stories and many more in a moment. We begin this afternoon from the national scene where the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, has called on stakeholders to ensure transparency, equity and fairness in the distribution of fertilizers to farmers. The Vice President made the call when he met with Fertilizers Producers and Suppliers Association of Nigeria, FEPSAN, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Shettima said President Bola Tinubu is passionate about reducing the cost of fertilizers for Nigerian farmers as part of efforts to achieve food security in the country. According to him, the president will be happy if the price of fertilizers collapses by 50% after the exercise. He added that the federal government is collaborating with some organizations, including the World Food Programme, to ensure that beneficiaries of the fertilizer distribution exercise are the Nigerian farmers. Away from that, the federal government has announced 825.819 million naira as compensation for indigents of the Federal Capital Territory community affected by the construction of the 4.2-kilometer second runway at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. It said indigents of the affected community will also get 12 immediate employment from the Ministry of Aviation and its agencies, as well as 10 from the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA. The Minister of FCTA, Nyesom Wike, made the announcement following a negotiation meeting with the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo. Officials of both ministries and representatives of the agencies, as well as stakeholders from Jua, the affected community in Abuja. The 825.8 million naira, according to the minister, is to act as incentive to the residents to vacate their community and seek their cooperation towards the completion of the project originally awarded in 2022. From the Green Chamber's ad hoc committee of the House of Representatives, probing alleged non-remittance and utilization of National Housing Fund from 2011 till death, has summoned the Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Maiden. The chairman of the committee, Dachong Bagos, made this known in Abuja. Bagos said the decision to summon the Accountant General was to get full information on deductions of National Housing Fund of Nigerian workers and remittance of SEM to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Report says the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, is also expected to appear before the committee on Thursday. In a separate development, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohamed Malagi, says Nigerians will also begin to feel the positive impact of the removal of petrol subsidies soon. The minister stated fees when he received Governor Umar Bago of Niger State in his office in Abuja. Malagi said the decision by President Bola Tinubu to remove petrol subsidies for the good of the country. The minister further stated that the federal government has since saved money from the subsidy removal, which has been distributed to the state to cushion the economic impact of petrol subsidy removal. He expressed confidence in the Tinubu administration to actualize his 8-priority agenda for the benefit of Nigerians. Elsewhere, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjojo, has charged agency heads to speed up the process of application and collection of Nigerian passports. The Interior Minister, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Alao Babatunde, said Nigerians should not have to queue endlessly to get passports. The minister also noted that President Bola Tinubu had no interest in excuses, saying the agency heads must work and talk as a country is at a critical point and in dire need of transformation. Tunjojo also underscored the importance of leveraging technology as a means to enhance efficiency and accuracy within the immigration and correctional services. In another development, the Kano state government has reduced the registration fees of government-owned tertiary institutions by 50% for indigents. The State Commissioner for Higher Education, Yusuf Mata, made the disclosure while briefing newsmen. According to the Commissioner, the government took the decision considering the economic hardship caused by the fuel subsidy removal, so as to alleviate the challenges of parents. He explained that the decision is in line with the state government's commitment to the development of education. Stating the state government's commitment to education development, Kafar Mata noted that this can be seen in the restoration of foreign scholarships for over 1,000 students, which would be flagged up soon. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor has signed a memorandum of understanding with a Benin Republic-based agriculture firm, Songhai Farms Initiatives Nigeria, to drive a technology-driven food production and business-oriented agriculture revolution in the state for the fulfillment of the goals of the RISE Agenda blueprint of the administration. Speaking at a brief meeting to sign the MOU at Government House, Uyo, Governor Moina described the Songhai agricultural model as impressive and stated that he learned about it during his electioneering campaign days, maintaining that the MOU is a long-term pact between the state government and Songhai Farm Investment Nigeria for the replication of a model farm in Akwa Ibom. Also speaking from the backdrop of his entrepreneurial disposition, Governor Ino pointedly told the team that there will be need to take a more careful study of their business plan to ascertain its turnover possibilities within a reasonable period, stressing that he is spending the state's fund judiciously by investing in lucrative ventures as he is in office to hold brief for the people. Earlier, leader of the team, Professor Godfrey Nzamoju, who is the founder of the agropreneur company Songhai Farm Initiative Nigeria, informed the state delegation that the company is a project of a new African society which has gradually translated to a movement. Professor Nzamoju commended the vision of the state administration in partnering with Songhai Farm Initiative for the agricultural investment, assuring that the company will create a paradigm shift in agricultural production in the state. And now to Africa, where a group of senior Gabonese military officers have announced the seizure of power in the country. The officers claim to represent all of Gabon's security and defense forces, asserting their authority over the nation. The officers, in a televised address, declared the cancellation of the election results, closed all borders until further notice, and dissolved state institutions. Speaking on behalf of the Gabonese people, the officers expressed their determination to safeguard peace by bringing an end to the current administration. Still in Africa, the United Nations UN has said that an exemption request for relief supplies to the Niger Republic has been submitted to the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The UN said sanctions on Niger were blocking vital humanitarian aid, such as food and medicine. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Representatives for Niger, Emmanuel Gignac, stated these at a press briefing during a visit to Geneva. Gignac noted that a formal letter from UN Aid Chief Martin Griffiths had been addressed to ECOWAS for exemptions. He also voiced concerns about the security of Niger's population, especially among its 700,000 forcibly displaced people, describing a sharp increase in protection incidents such as kidnapping and sexual violence since the coup. On a foreign scene, India's space agency says moon rover